Okay, welcome to Lights Camera Barstool. Today it is myself, it is Gooch, it is Klemmer, and Robbie Fox. A lot of movie news to get to today because on account of CinemaCon, ton of news dropping, a lot of trailers, things like that. And we will also be doing a draft, an action movie draft in honor of A Working Man,
Working Man.
which Robbie, you haven't seen it, so we'll have you drop out later for that. But me, Klemmer, and Gooch all have, so we'll be reviewing that together. But we'll be doing a build an action movie draft with star, co-star, villain, director, and just a little miscellaneous whatever you want to throw in for the last bit. So let's just get straight into it for the movie news. First up, just right off the top, R.I.P. Val Kilmer. Val Kilmer, one of the just a great. I'm trying to think of how to best describe Val Kilmer. He's like weirdly a great action star, but also like an auteur at the same time. Like he
big
was
time.
in certain roles, he really hit like these insane second levels. And he's like a Juilliard. He was a Juilliard guy, so like it makes sense. But still, like it's crazy the range Val Kilmer had as an actor. And it's a death that we saw. I mean, he's been sick for a long time, so it's not like some huge shock or anything like that. But still, it hurts bad. And he was a great actor. So rest in peace to Val.
Yeah, a character actor that could also be a leading man. It's probably how I would describe him. I mean, he's Batman. He top-lined a lot of movies, but that were successful. But then he also would do things like The Doors, which and then he would do like Tombstone, and so he also would do weird shit. Like there's a movie called Island of Dr. Moreau when he was with Marlon Brando. It's one of the weirdest fucking movies I've ever seen in the theaters. Yeah, kind of up for anything, kind of a weird gonzo kind of guy. But I said also could be a leading man that could play Bruce Wayne. So I thought he was. It's very sad. It's sad that so much of his career at the end kind of was absent because he was sick with throat cancer, wasn't able to speak. We obviously saw that in Maverick. I feel like we missed out on a lot of great Val Kilmer performances. I would have liked to have seen him get older because he was also very good. Heat obviously. He was such a good actor. I think he would have had a really interesting kind of second act of his career that everyone was cheated on. So sucks.
Yeah, I mean, just an actor's actor through and through. I watched the front half before I fell asleep last night of the Val documentary that he made
Really
back in 2018. And yeah, no, just a fascinating life. I mean, grew up in like basically the male version of the Little Women house. Him and his brothers were creating films by the time they were 10 years old, and they loved it. And I mean, I don't know if you knew this. He was the youngest admitted male ever to Juilliard when he got admitted.
Oh, wow.
Just,
yeah, 17.
Just an insane talent. Just an incredible talent. Fascinating individual, lived his life fully. I mean, even at the end, he didn't let cancer stop him at all.
No. I love that they worked him into Maverick in the way that they did. It was such
Perfect.
a good, like, cinematic send-off. Kevin Smith even worked him into Jay and Silent Bob Reboot to play Blunt Man, a.k.a. Silent Bob, and he didn't have any lines and didn't need any lines. And it was perfect. Like, he was goofing around on set with people. Like, I appreciate that towards the end of his life, filmmakers didn't just let him go off and die. They were like, no, keep coming and playing with us.
Yeah, no, he not to linger on it too long, but that documentary, it was really fascinating. Like in the 90s, he, like when he was first starting, he was making his own audition tapes, and like he would shoot just him doing Shakespeare, and then he would like take the little money he had and he flew to London to hand them personally to Stanley Kubrick.
Oh my God.
Like he was
Wow.
sending them to everybody. He was obsessed with the craft of acting, which, we don't get a lot of that anymore. And he was one of them.
Yeah. Now we get Millie Bobby Browns who just I don't watch movies. I don't watch movies. I just get paid to be in them. But yeah, shout out to Val Kilmer. Rest in peace. Great, fantastic actor. And I didn't know in the funeral scene in Maverick, I didn't know his actual kids were in that. I did not.
I didn't know that either.
Didn't know. That's a little cool little extra thing. Anyway, lots of news to get to again. CinemaCon, a bunch of other stuff happening. The first thing right off the top, Fincher is going to direct a Once Upon a Time sequel based on Cliff Booth, which was written by Tarantino. This news, none of us believed it. Like, I didn't believe it at all.
I had to do a double take.
Like, it was like it's April because it dropped on April Fools, and like on top of that, the one thing that stuck out to me, and I'd sent it to you guys in our chat, the clip of Quentin Tarantino talking about Fincher, being like, "Yeah, Fincher's one of the great directors of my time, but he can't direct out. He can't write his own stuff. He has to direct off someone else's script. Like that's why I'm in a different league than him." So them collaborating to me was like, nah, that's not true. But apparently very real. This little sequel series or a little sequel movie on Cliff Booth. And Cliff Booth was super interesting. There's no confirmation of any other cast members other than Brad Pitt returning. They were like talking about maybe Leonardo, and he's obviously worked with Netflix before because this would be for Netflix because Netflix owns Fincher, unfortunately. But yeah,
it sounds like they're gonna start shooting it like this summer. Like this is like fast tracked.
Yeah, which makes sense. I mean, he's only getting older. But Cliff Booth, super interesting character. I don't hate this. I don't love that it's at Netflix. Is my only issue.
I love this. Anytime we get a Tarantino script, I love it. So I'm enthralled with this news. I agree with you. Not psyched it's on Netflix. I'll people in New York, we can go to the Paris theater, and I'm guessing they'll have it there. I'm guessing hopefully Tarantino fights a bit for the theaters, and like maybe they'll release it for a week or two.
I think at least a week. I mean, if they're willing to put Glass Onion out full theatrical release for a week, they have to be willing to do.
Ryan Johnson doesn't have the juice that Fincher Tarantino.
That's what I mean. Like, they're definitely going to get a theatrical release in some way.
I would hope so.
If they don't, I am putting Fincher on absolute washed suit list for his involvement.
Are you going to be upset if he shoots it on digital like he's been doing his last few movies? Do you want him to go back to film?
Oh, absolutely. I don't think there's any question that his work on film was so much better. And what he's doing lately with his remasters and like he's making everything too clean, but that's beside the point. I mean, I have a lot of issues like on paper with it. Like I think Fincher has taken a very clear step back the past like decade. His involvement with Netflix has not been a good partnership, which is probably why they spent $20 million on a Tarantino script to put some juice on this contract.
You've been a little harsh. You're being harsh, Gooch.
Mindhunter's really good, but also
he's made 2 movies for Netflix, one of which was decent.
In the past decade.
Stunk. Well, he did mind. Like I don't care. Like the TV show's fine to me. It's not.
If you put a clear division, I mean, before that he had done Gone Girl, Social Network.
Yep.
Leading up to this, like he was on an absolute tear, generational tear. He's made good movies, but nothing sniffing what he was doing before.
No, I'm not arguing that. He's made 2 movies for Netflix. One of them was a passion project that his dad wrote that stunk. Okay, fine.
Mm-hmm.
I almost like throw that away because like I think he just wanted to do that for his dad. Okay. The Killer was good. Is it as good as Gone Girl? No.
7? No.
Well, no. I mean, I'm talking like minor.
Just recently. Okay.
Yeah. Like no, it's not. I liked it more than the Tilda Swinton or not Tilda Swinton. Daniel Craig.
Black. Oh, wait, no, you're not talking about Black Bag. What are you talking about?
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Knives
Out with the dragon tattoo?
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
okay.
that's a banger.
See, I don't like that much. I like The Killer more. But like, I get that's like whatever. Like, I just think that. Excuse me. I don't know. I think it's a little. I've seen a lot of this. I think a little premature with throwing dirt on this guy. That's all I'm saying. Or calling this.
Do you think it's a lose-lose for him doing this movie in the sense that like, if people don't like it, I think people will be like, well, Fincher, Tarantino would have crushed it probably.
Yep.
But if people do like it, I feel like people are still going to be like, wonder what Tarantino's version would have looked like. Like that.
Or Tarantino got all the credit.
They'll get all the credit. They'll be like,
Tarantino will like, right. I think you're absolutely right, Robbie.
So like that surprises me. Also, like I just hate that 10 film rule that Tarantino's putting himself on and putting that box. Like, why not just make this movie and then make your final movie be a non-sequel? If that's really the hang up where he didn't want his final movie to be a sequel, like make 11 movies, dude. I just did the rundown with Jeff and this was a topic and we talked about it being like Kill Bill, he counts as one movie, even though it had 2 separate, like we're already playing semantics games with his 10 film rule. It just seems stupid to me.
Well, you know who wanted it to be 2 movies was Robbie's good friend, Harvey Weinstein.
No.
Right.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's dead on.
It was his idea to split it up because Quentin wanted it to be one release, but he said it's 2.
He still, whenever he shows it at his theater, he only shows it as one movie.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
He refuses to split it up.
I think of it as one movie. I try to because that was the director's intent.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
There's like I don't necessarily also think this movie needed a sequel. From what the rumors apparently are, is this was the movie critic, the thing he was working on for years,
right?
And then kind of threw to the side last year when he just couldn't get it going. So it's like it's kind of scraps. It's Tarantino scraps, I guess is what you'd call it. But so these are the things that I have issues with. But and a lot of people are raising these issues. But if Tarantino and Fincher working together on a movie does not like get your juices absolutely pumping, you are lost. Like movies are just not for you. Like this, I almost don't care it's at Netflix. I don't care about these problems. I want to see a Fincher Tarantino collab. Like last one we got? What was the last big collab like this we got? Would it have been Fincher Sorkin?
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Like this big.
Yep,
This
I would agree.
big is.
And
Like,
this is bigger than that.
huge.
Yeah, this is definitely bigger than that. But yeah, huge news, amazing. To the point where again we didn't believe it. That's how big it was. Another big sequel. Now You See Me, Now You Don't, confirmed. Coming this November, and also a fourth movie was confirmed within this franchise.
Mhm.
I like the first Now You See Me quite a bit. Interesting, fun.
Yeah.
Sleight of hand stuff is
Really fun movie.
Yeah, it seems like to me, like when I watched that movie, and I think I mentioned this to you, Robbie, a couple days ago. Like everyone in that cast is having the time of their life.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, and I love that, and that you feel that as an audience member, and I enjoy it. Second one got a little lost. The Ruffalo shit was whatever, but like this, I like having a third one. A fourth one, I don't know. And also, in the third one, you could have had the title "Now You Threw Me," which I still kind of bent out of shape about. Now You Threw Me, and then do Now You See Me, Now You Don't as the fourth and final movie. But whatever.
Or the second should have been called Now You Don't, and then you do whatever you want with the rest. You could do the double title like Fast and the Furious, but yeah, that's I digress.
It's whatever. It's that's like John Wick through Chapter 3 Parabellum, but then just John Wick 4, like whatever. But yeah, so I'm very interested in this. I love these sleight of hand, fun, goofy movies, and all this cast is great. They have great chemistry in both movies, so yeah, into it.
Excited. I mean, I would maybe the word excited. Yeah, like I'm mildly excited. Like it's fine. It didn't change my heart rate when I got
that. Didn't get the juices flowing.
No, I mean, like what are we doing?
Like
here?
such a typical like. If it gets great reviews, okay, maybe date night movie. If not, like this is a prototypical like I'll watch it when it comes to streaming movies.
This is, I mean, the first two are really, I mean, at plane movies. Like like these aren't, but they're entertaining and they're fun. They're perfect for a play. Like they're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and you're right. The first one's better than the second,
for sure.
We're into franchise territory now, so I'm not sure if this like point really stands.
Robbie's
but it is
drinking an Ecto Cooler. Did you see that?
I did.
Sorry, not to distract.
Body armor. Body armor.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Ecto Cooler.
Body armor. It's good stuff.
Shout out. So it is in franchise territory now. But what I was gonna say, it is kind of nice that this is just like non-IP. Like it's not like Star Wars, Marvel, like DC. Like it is like its own like little universe that they've built out and created, and
people
love it. Best. It's not the best thing ever. It's like I think everyone who likes these movies is well aware of like they're trash. Like it's like slop trash, but it's very fun.
Very fun.
Like even the second one, terrible, but like it's still like fun in moments.
Yeah.
And the cast is kind of like what you show up for. Great cast.
Mm-hmm. You heard the same thing, Robbie?
Definitely. Like I said, it's I'll watch it when it comes to streaming, unless it gets amazing reviews. Unless people are like, "Oh my god, it was they really reworked the magic category." I'll go and see it in theaters. But I do like the cast. I just heard Jesse Eisenberg on Smartlist talking about filming this, and like you said, sounds like he had the time of his life filming it. Like he loves filming these movies. But yeah, it's fine. No real like excitement for it, but I'm not anti Now You See Me.
We had three big pieces of news come out of the John Wick universe. The first being that Donnie Yen is going to star and direct in a spinoff based on his character Kane, which me and Robbie have been joking about it recently. Like he just is now the blind martial artist guy. Like that's now Donnie Yen's
An
job.
Insane thing to get typecast as.
Yeah,
just blind martial artist and everything.
Yeah, right after Rogue One, that being the main thing, whatever. But yeah, that is happening. John Wick 5 also in the works. How that works with John Wick being, spoiler alert, dead, I don't totally know. Maybe it's a Doom thing. He's fighting in the underworld. And then lastly, there's an animated prequel to John Wick being made about him getting out of the mafia by doing the impossible tasks that they talk about in all three movies. So I think
isn't he also in Ballerina, which is in the world of John Wick?
Yeah, that's in the world of John Wick.
But he's in that.
Yeah.
He is.
So a couple of notes for this is that like Ballerina is apparently just like a fucking disaster.
Completely.
Like they had to reshoot basically the entire thing because the original director, whose name escapes me, he was the first guy to do this John Wick movie that wasn't Stahelski and that whole crew, and then they made it. All the test screenings were bad, and then this guy, the Stahelski, had to come back in and just reshoot for 3 straight months, which is basically the entire movie. So
and then they keep having to add like more Keanu Reeves stuff, or like
to try and like ease, I think, smooth things over, which is whatever. And then they also made the Continental series on Peacock, which nobody liked, and so all 4 mainline John Wick movies are great. And then everything outside of that has been pretty bad so far. So the fact that they're continuing to do that and these other 2 things, the Donnie Yen thing, I don't see the vision there, I don't think. But then the animated prequel, I think there's a lot of room for, because there's a lot of interesting animated action series, and there's no limit to what you can do with that. And I like that. John Wick 5, though, don't really see the vision on that either. So I don't know how you guys feel about it.
I wish John Wick 5 was the animated series. Like what they're saying the animated series is going to be, him escaping the mob but doing the impossible task. Like I wish John Wick 5 was a prequel to see him doing that. That's kind of like been teased in all 4 movies.
That'll be fascinating for like a separate entry in a franchise to be animated versus live action. That'll be fascinating.
It would
You know
be.
what the problem? You know what the problem is here? It's Lionsgate. It's like they don't have. It's not like Warner Brothers, or it's not like they're a major studio. This is their thing. We have John Wick, and like we got to figure out a way to get more blood from the stones somehow. And we'll do these weird fucking movies that nobody wants, nobody's asking for, with apparently, I guess, blind martial artists. Like, who is this? Who wants to see this?
I want to see the animated one. The other two are kind of.
You want to see
I'm
animated
there for John Wick 5.
Yeah,
like
animated
John Wick
John
5
Wick
hits
sounds-
theaters. I'm there just because they've never steered me wrong. Like I thought the 4th one might have been the best one.
Yep.
I will not be watching the cartoons.
I'm with you, Kinjek, though. Like the 5th one, I've seen I'm not gonna add. It was going around online that people were theorizing that it could be Underworld John Wick, like
Hell yeah.
legitimately like him, like having to kill all the people he killed in his past and like fight through hell. That would be great. Keeping him alive. Let the man rest. He died on those steps. Like that was such a good, like, you're not gonna top that moment. Like you're not gonna top that as a send-off, like as him as an alive character. So they need to get creative with whatever they do there on the sequel. The prequel, I disagree with you, Klemmer. I think that'll be awesome. Probably won't make any money, but it does sound awesome. Stahelski actually has a anime that's premiering this weekend.
That's right.
That's been very anticipated for like 2 years. It's with the creator of Cowboy Bebop and Samurai Champloo, Watanabe, which I'm looking forward to. And I think it looks like probably the style they would go for in the John Wick universe.
Yeah.
Donnie Yen, by the way. I've never seen one of his movies. I've heard he's a terrible director.
I've never watched, I don't think, a movie he's directed, but yeah. I like him as an actor. I've liked him.
Let's say Ballerina Bombs, which it could.
Probably. Yep.
It's coming out, what, 2 months, right? If that tanks, I wonder if you'll see some of these projects get scrapped. Because the Lionsgate also, the other issue with Lionsgate is they don't have like an unlimited vault of money. Like like you can't keep putting out stinker. It'll literally bankrupt the studio.
Although they do have Hunger Games, I think, too, which is
True,
that also
on
is
the
a kind of-
horizon.
But they also need that to work.
Yeah. So it is kind of, I don't think they would have just announced this and then in 2 months they're like, we're not going to do Donnie Yen. I do think they're kind of locked in.
If this really tanks,
they might drop the animated
If it
one.
tanks, I think the Yen one is the one to drop.
Me
if it
too.
tanks.
Yeah. Because that'll cost the most, probably, outside of John Wick 5.
right?
So yeah, that's John Wick. We had our first look at the Beatles all together. All 4 Beatles biopics, which will release in April 2028, all directed by Sam Mendes. He described it as the first bingeable theater experience. It's Harris Dickinson as John Lennon, Paul Mescal as Paul McCartney, Barry Keoghan as Ringo Starr, and Joseph Quinn as George Harrison. I don't have, I think, super strong feelings on this because I'm not the biggest Beatles guy. I would say that I saw some people noting that they kind of wished they were less famous people playing the Beatles, and I think I would agree with that because it does feel very fan casty. But at the same time, they look like, for the most part, their counterparts. That's fine. Can they act like them? Remains to be seen. But I'm curious what Robbie Fox has to think about it because he is the biggest Beatles guy probably at the company. So.
I don't know. We got a couple of big Beatles fans at the company, but I was definitely, when they were like announcing that Sam Mendes was doing this, of the thinking cast 4 unknowns because it's so hard to buy. I mean, the Beatles are like 4 of the most iconic personalities, not only faces we've ever seen in pop culture. So it is hard to buy like pretty A-list, if not like A-list, B-list, the up and comer class they cast as them. But when they announced this like bingeable theater experience, which we still don't really know exactly what that means, it kind of made sense. Like, I think they're trying to make this like a Barbenheimer. I think they want the Beatles 4 movies to be a cinematic event. And to do that, you got to cast names that are going to bring people to the theater that wouldn't have otherwise been there. I think my hope for this is that this cast does for the Beatles what Chalamet did for Bob Dylan and makes like kids in their 20s be like, I'll check out an album. I'll check this out. Like, That movie was fine. It was, I thought a good music biopic, nothing more than that. But the press tour and the actual attention he brought to Bob Dylan and his music,
SNL.
I thought was amazing. Yeah. So like that's my almost like hope. That's like what you're shooting for, I think, in terms of these actors playing those people.
Mm-hmm. I love the Beatles, not as much as Robbie, but I love the Beatles a lot. I'm excited for this movie. I'm worried a lot about how they're rolling this out. So I guess there's two ways to do it, right? You do all of them in April, right? But like you just
cannibalize each other.
You're just bombarded, right? And they cannibalize. Or do you stagger them? They come out every, say, 3 months, but then by the fourth one, no one gives a fuck anymore. So I don't know what the best route is. I don't know how you can have 4 Beatles movies in the box office at the same time. Like, how is that going to work from a financial standpoint? I'm very excited for these movies. Like, very excited. I'm excited for, like Robbie was saying, I'm excited for like people to get back in on the Beatles. I feel like the last 10 years has been like, and obviously they're getting older. I get we're further away from these records coming out, but like this has been like the least Beatles centric 10 years of my life. And I'm excited people kind of get back in on the Beatles, especially like younger people. But I don't know. I'm trying to like rationalize in my head 4 Beatles movies. Like, are people going to go to the movie theaters 4 times in a month, much less 4 times to see the same 4 characters? I don't think so.
Or are they all coming out on the same day? Are you buying one ticket to see 4 movies in a row like they do the Marvel marathons and shit? Like, right?
So they're all the same day?
I think they have it slated for I think April 8th. Yeah.
That's one day. I just don't understand. So like, are you going to go to the movies like 4 times that week?
That's
like, regular people don't have that much time.
Like, I appreciate the creative approach. I can't see a world in which like
maybe
that's successful.
You sell maybe theaters sell like a bulk ticket, like you get a discounted price if you buy
maybe
all
they
4.
do, and I'll be there day one.
Me too.
I watched Get Back in 1 8-hour sitting and loved it.
So good, by the way.
Like, I'm down to do that, but I don't think like the general public who would make this movie a financial success will do that.
It's also like older people who are going to go see this, right? Like Robbie loves it. Robbie's on the younger side, but Robbie's the exception, not the rule. Like, are people in their
that's why you
50s and 60s?
These 4 guys, I guess. These 4 guys are the young people's up and comers.
Absolutely, but like people in their 50s and 60s going to drive the revenue for this movie, I think. And you're telling me like an average person in their 50s who has a job, who has like responsibilities, who has maybe older kids. Like, you're going to be able to go to the movie theaters 4 times in like a 2-week period or whatever. Like, that's just not realistic.
I will say, to counterpoint this, of only for the younger audience, they did a great job casting 4 actors that women are the most horny for.
Sure,
explicitly or for if it makes sense or not. Women are so horny for these 4 guys.
Great.
It's fucking crazy. So, and I think that will drive.
That's the Chalamet Bob Dylan.
Yes,
Another like women love Chalamet, right? He's a good-looking guy. No, that makes a lot of sense. But even that movie only made 70 million domestic. It wasn't like we're talking about like fucking Star Wars here. And then if you had 4 Dylan movies come out at the same time, I don't care how horny women are, they're not going to go to the movie theaters 4 fucking times.
Yeah. Although.
No, I need that as a book. I don't care how horny women are. They're not going to the movies 4 times in a row.
They're not.
No disrespect to Bob Dylan, though, and also, but like the Beatles are like
totally right.
Bob Dylan's here.
All right, no,
and the 4 of them adds to it. Them being like a team and them appearing together in press will definitely add to it. But it's a big endeavor. Kiss put out 4 solo albums on the same day in 1977.
Ooh.
They were not successful. It did not work. I mean, Ace Frehley's was good. We got New York Groove out of that.
Great.
Otherwise, not successful.
Bruce Springsteen just dropped like 7 albums today or something, didn't he? Or
no, it's in June. There's
7 albums.
I think there's 9. Is it 9 albums?
Dropping 9 albums at once.
All in like he been working out in the pandemic. All like his lost recordings and stuff, and he's releasing all of them in late June.
Oh my God.
Yeah, including stuff from like the 80s and 70s and stuff.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Very interested to watch this, especially after I actually just rewatched the clip of Ringo on Howard Stern. That was so funny. Did you see that clip?
I don't know, but I've definitely seen it, like him on Stern.
He's like saying like he's like yeah, you famously like with all those guys, you've seen each other's dicks, right? Of course, Howard Stern. He's like you've seen each other's dicks, right? He's like I don't know that we've ever been explicitly naked around each other, but we've seen each other's dick. And so Stern's like, so which one of you is the biggest Beatle? And like before he can even finish the sentence, Ringo's like me. Immediately just like
I've got a huge cock. I can't believe it.
Imagine they dumped Ringo's in February, but then put the rest in the summer.
That's the other thing is I already feel for Ringo. We're gonna know his is gonna be the least, unless they make it a psychedelic experience. It might be the lowest box office.
He's got the biggest star though.
He
That wasn't an accident.
Yeah. He
Like
does
Barry Keoghan
Yeah,
is the biggest star of
true.
those four.
That's a good
coming
point.
up,
And
Davey
also, like,
Carpenter,
and he might be the Joker. Like,
Yeah.
so like,
Yeah.
That's
Already
true. He will be
kinda
fresh
is.
off the Joker. That's true. That's a great.
like I don't think that was an accident.
Yeah, it's a good point.
I'm also like, one last thing about these stories. Like, are they going to be repetitive? Like, think about it. Like, all right, we see John's story, we see Paul's story. They're going to be pretty fucking similar.
Are
For
they
a
gonna
good-
pick like different period for each of
Different
their
moments.
lives?
That'd be cool.
I guess. I mean, they're not going to tell the same story 4 times. I get it. Or you'll
Are
see
they
it from
going
there.
like different genre for each of them? Because you could do that, and Paul's could be uppity and light, and John's could be real dark, and you could like go in different.
John's is like
directions with
Michael
it.
Clayton, and Paul's is like a Disney movie.
You know what John's will be. It'll be tough, Robbie. You're not gonna want to watch.
Oh,
it.
no, they ain't showing that. Disney
Yeah,
ain't
on the-
showing that.
No,
The
They-
John
they might
one,
imply it, though.
The John one should be like it should be like a mythical universe, like a alternate universe where John never joins the Beatles. The Beatles never happen, and so it'd be like, what would the world be like without the Beatles? This is a good movie idea.
Oh,
So it'd
Maybe like
tear
we
down
get
the
Danny
box.
Boyle and Richard
yeah. I
Curtis
was about to
on
say
this.
you're describing the movie with Danny Boyle and.
I
what was
do
it?
love the tweet that went viral that was like, I need Chalamet's Bob Dylan to appear in a post-credit scene, hand them a joint, and say, I'm here for the Wilburys Initiative.
I saw one that was it was like, man, this looks cool, but it'd be a lot better if they were all CGI monkeys. And like, yeah,
Yeah, I saw that.
That's the
Yeah,
one
yeah,
I'd
yeah.
watch.
Hey, I watched that movie, by the way. Not
It's
bad.
good. It's a
Not
good
bad.
movie. It
it
just,
got good reviews.
dude,
Yeah.
there's just no reason for him to be a CGI monkey.
That's
That's
no
the
reason.
only thing.
That's what
It's
I
just like
was
fun to
thinking.
look at, I guess. But like that's
Like, not even. I
that's
would have
it.
paid more attention if it was just some younger new actor, whatever. And like, because that introduced me to Robbie Williams, who I had no fucking clue who that was at all.
Mhm.
And I'm like, this music kind of sucks, but like, I don't know, it's an
Some of
interesting
this,
movie.
yeah, I'm not. Yeah, some of the stuff's okay, but yeah, I'm right. Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna defend Robbie.
We had the first trailer for The Fountain of Youth, movie directed by Guy Ritchie, written by James Vanderbilt, who has a writing history that's crazy, but most famous one's probably Zodiac. John Krasinski, Natalie Portman, Isaac Gonzalez, Domhnall Gleeson, and Stanley Tucci all involved. Coming to Apple TV May 23rd. This I like
Apple TV.
Yeah, and what I prefer their movies.
Come on.
Not particularly
No, it's not that. It's put it in theaters, man.
that too. I love the idea of an adventure movie in general, just like more movies like Indiana Jones, and I like that.
yeah, of
like-
course. Who doesn't?
Going on a national treasure type adventure. and
Romancing the
find-
Stone. Let's go.
Exactly. I love shit like that. Just something about watching this. I don't buy John Krasinski as that guy. I think you need someone. You don't need just Harrison Ford, but you need someone a little more rugged. And he just to me is such like a soft faced guy, and like that doesn't play to me. Natalie Portman perfect. Everyone else pretty much perfect, but I don't know Krasinski. I just don't buy for this type of role. But yeah, and the trailer was okay.
What do you want him to do?
I
Like, what do you want his next act to be?
He already has a second act in doing horror movies, and they've all been good.
Well, but he shied away from that. Like he only wrote this, or no, he directed the second one, which I didn't really like,
He did,
and he didn't have anything to do with the third one,
did
right?
that spy show on fucking what do you call it? Prime. I want to say Jack
Jack
Reacher. It's not
Ryan.
Jack Reacher. Jack Ryan.
Jack Ryan.
Yeah,
people
Jack
like
Ryan.
And
that.
that's action. That's from the action
Which
star. So
People
I mean,
did
that's
buy
what he
him
do.
as Jack Ryan in that.
The series of that is good. He's not good in it. He is not
Oh,
the right
I haven't
fit
seen
as
it,
Jack
so-
Ryan. He's just not the perfect. He's not. That's not him.
Can Guy
just don't-
Ritchie
I just
pull
don't know
that
what you
out
want
of
him
him
to
though? Because also Guy Ritchie is a great director in blending, obviously, the comedy with the
For sure.
action. Like, can Krasinski be the guy to ride that line? I think
Yeah,
he
that's
could
very
be.
true. It's a good point.
Like, I'm definitely I understand like the hesitation to buy him as an action star. I'm with you, but I still think like it could work. I think he's kind of on the fence, like yet to be seen.
I just don't even think it's action like that. These type of movies, you need like the rogue. You know what I mean? Like the handsome rogue. I don't want to keep saying like the Harrison Ford type, but you need something like that. And that's just he's just kind of like this. Like he's Office Jim. You know what I mean? Like he's Office Jim. I don't know. I just don't buy him as like the rugged adventure
I thought the
guy.
trailer looked pretty good, to be honest.
I agree. No, and
And
I
I
agree.
love Guy Ritchie.
Guy Ritchie's hit or miss for sure, and when he hits. I just don't know like what John Krasinski's supposed to do next. He did that. Well, he did that movie If, right? Didn't he?
Oh, it's
Ooh, that one.
Yeah, like I don't know what he's supposed to do next, and you're not wrong, Ken Jackson. Like he has kind of a soft face for an action star. You're absolutely right. Like I don't know what else you do with him
yeah.
because he's a
Comedy.
talented guy. I like him.
He's funny.
I like him
do more
too, yeah.
comedy.
See, this is why
They don't make
the
comedies
past-
anymore.
Yeah, the past 2 decades of Hollywood, every leading man has to be absolutely jacked and look like he's on steroids. And I'll say it, like I think it was a detriment. Like he's better looking, maybe like in the traditional sense, but like there was something about his like doughy face, his Jim on The Office, that was much more entertaining and appealing as a viewer
and relatable.
And like more, he was a much better performer in that lane. They keep trying to make him happen, and it's just outside of the Quiet Place movies, which are from his own soul. That's really the only place I feel like he's broken through on the big screen. If I'm wrong.
Do you remember he sold that series he did over COVID to like NBC for $1 trillion, and then they just never did it?
Oh yeah. So
honestly, that was a good use of him.
Yeah. No,
I
that
think
was
people
perfect.
loved him in the Benghazi movie, right?
He was not.
He was okay.
He was not like that movie. In general was whatever.
That movie's fine. I would say that movie's a fine movie.
It would have been better if it wasn't him.
I don't know if that's true.
It wouldn't have been.
I think you are anti-Krasinski.
No, I like him.
I think you are anti-Krasinski.
I like him in different movies. I like Office Jim.
What do you want him to do? What do you want him to do?
Because he's good even in horror movies. He was great in Quiet Place.
All right,
playing a regular guy.
So now you just want to do horror movies the rest of his life.
No, just play a regular guy. You don't have to be a big jack movie star action guy. That's not him. That's just not his
Did
lane.
I ever tell you guys me and Trent got kicked out of New York Comic-Con because of John Krasinski?
Really?
No.
So a couple years ago, I filmed a video at New York Comic-Con, Man on the Street style, and the passes they gave me were just weekend passes, but we only filmed for one day. So I said, Trent, you want to go to Comic-Con with me today? Just walk around. He was down. So we start walking around. We see a door is just a little cracked, and we hear applause coming from inside. We're like, what the hell's going on there? So we sneak in the back door. We're trying to see who's on stage on our tippy toes in the back of the room. I swear it was like out of a movie. The second the applause dies down, Trent's booming voice goes, "Oh, it's John Krasinski." And it was like a record scratch. Like everyone in the panel heard, "Oh, it's John Krasinski." We heard people laughing. And then immediately security came and they were like, well, "How did you get in?" We were like, "That door." They were like, "That door wasn't supposed to be open." We were like, "Oh, sorry." They didn't kick us out of the entire Comic-Con, but we got kicked out of that panel.
Oh.
Jesus
Also,
Christ.
once saw John Krasinski and Emily Blunt waiting to cross the street. We were driving past them in an Uber. So I didn't have any time to stop. But I was like, "Oh my God, that's Krasinski." I've had two of those moments in my life.
Guy can't escape you yelling his name.
Yeah, screaming at him.
Yeah.
But yeah, this comes to Apple TV May 23rd.
I'm here for this. I'm hopeful for this.
That's the other thing. Apple TV, for as great as their TV has been, god damn, they can't make a movie to save their fucking lives.
Yeah.
Right
Won an
now.
Oscar.
Tetris.
Won a Best
Tetris
Picture.
is
Yeah,
all right.
yeah, they won an Oscar.
Don't forget, Best Picture
Fucking
winner. Netflix
Buddha.
hasn't done that, motherfucker.
No, they haven't.
That's right, they haven't.
Only nominated.
Better never.
It's tough. Speaking of movies that'll definitely win an Oscar, Coyote versus Acme was bought by Ketchup Entertainment, which I saw Coley tweet this and I agree. Made up headline. Coyote versus Acme was
Ketchup
bought
Entertainment is crazy.
So I'm very intrigued by this.
Me too.
So they put out a movie that I think I'm the only one of this panel that saw, only because I'm doing this project. I had to see it. It was The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie, which was fine enough, I guess. But it didn't even make $10 million in the box office. It didn't do well. So I'm surprised that Ketchup Entertainment they released it. They got it from Warner Brothers. I'm surprised they're double dipping with.
Yeah.
Now this movie looks a lot better than the one I saw, by all accounts. But it cost $50 million for them to buy this off Warner Brothers. It was not cheap. So they think this is going to make over $50 million, much more than that when you consider marketing in the box office.
I'll be there. You'll be there.
I'll be there.
I'll be
I
there.
think a lot of their
Cena,
money off this
Forte.
thing.
Yeah.
But you guys weren't there for the other one, though.
No.
But
Okay.
the other one was also on DVD for the past year on physical release, and I think that's where Ketchup is banking on a lot of this money coming from. Is controlling the physical releases, the people who are still hardcore Looney Tunes fans, which
Streaming
they
rights.
exist, and yeah, and they can sell that.
Eventually,
shit
it'll
off.
go to streaming. You could sell that. Yeah.
So I listened to a podcast called The B.O. Boys, and they talk about box office. It's great. And they were saying how they think this might be like a plan for Ketchup to eventually kind of like own the Looney Tunes, which I don't entirely disagree with.
Maybe.
But then I saw recently this week that Warner Brothers is currently working on not only a new Flintstones movie, but also a new Looney Tunes movie. So are they just making these movies in the hopes that Ketchup will buy them?
Warner Brothers is still making them. Like I thought,
They
Warner
also
Brothers
pull-
didn't want them.
They pulled all their stuff off of Max. You can't find
Yeah.
Looney Tunes on Max anymore as of like
They might
last
have like
month.
a Spider-Man
crazy.
type deal where like they need to keep using the IP in order to retain the rights.
That I don't know.
Oh, that's
I
a
don't
good-
know.
That's a good idea. Or
I
concept to
don't.
bring up.
It's
Could
their
be.
brand though. They own the fucking Looney. They are the Looney Tunes. Warner Brothers is the Looney Tunes. This whole thing is
agree.
crazy.
Seeing the
It's
big
weird
tower,
that,
that's
like,
them.
they haven't like transitioned into this like era, I feel like, because like Looney Tunes were huge when I was growing up. I remember doing sleepovers with my cousins for Space Jam and Back in Action, and like we watched
Animaniacs.
the baby Looney Tunes show, like all of that stuff.
They're kind
And
of
it's,
perfect
like,
for this
not a-
generation too. They're like very like schizophrenic ADHD. humor.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
they are the most like you could put them in any generation, I feel like, and they would work. But none of my little cousins or nieces or nephews know
No.
a thing about the Looney Tunes.
Mm-hmm.
It's that
Weird.
movie. I'll tell you, it was very odd. Where they must have had one writer that was very funny because 1/3 of every jokes was hysterical, and the other 2/3 in the plot was dog shit.
Mm.
But there was like one. You'd have like one joke every minute. We'd be like, "That's really funny."
I also didn't realize that movie had the use of like 3 Looney Tunes characters. Like it wasn't a Looney Tunes movie.
It was not. All you got was Porky Pig, you got Petunia Pig, and you got Daffy Duck, and that's it. They had no
See,
other.
that's weird.
It's so weird, and there were ways
Yeah.
you could have incorporated more. And it wasn't like it was a live action thing. It was all animated,
Yeah.
like drawn. But you that was it. You didn't get anybody else in there, which I felt like
Weird.
like I agree with you, Robbie. It was a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
I don't know. The Looney Tunes thing is very weird to me, but I'm very intrigued by this Ketchup Entertainment, which also put out that movie. Did I say it with you, Goodrich?
You saw it with Fights.
Fights.
I saw it.
I thought
yeah,
you were
yeah.
okay. Michael Keaton was a very good movie. It came out last year.
Solid.
So they're trying to make Ketchup
They
Entertainment.
might need a new name. Like
Yeah.
I
Oh, they
can't take that
100%.
seriously. Every time you say it, like let's get down to business and come up with a new name before you start spending 50 mil on Looney Tunes.
Yeah. Oh, Gooch, I forget. Are you into the Coyote versus Acme game?
Oh yeah, no, I've wanted to see this. I wasn't like banging down the door. I wasn't like that guy out front, out in the. I don't know if you saw
That
that like
guy
a month
did it.
ago in the Warner Brothers lot. The guy dressed up. Was he dressed up as Bugs Bunny? Yeah.
As
As, the Coyote.
That's
Yeah,
why.
yeah.
Or
it's
yeah,
not
he was as the
released, mate.
Coyote. Like I wasn't going that hard for it, but the fact that this is seeing the light of day, thank God. Like the idea that they can just make movies and throw them
Can
away. is
Ketchup
just
buy
absurd to me.
Batgirl?
I was just thinking the
that.
same thing. Does
Yep.
this mean Batgirl is
That'd be fun. Like
potentially alive?
a little market for Ketchup Entertainment to get in to be like the lost media
Canceled movies?
distributor.
Yeah.
of Warner Brothers? Yeah.
There's a lot out there. What about the who's the guy that made the Holocaust clown movie? Jerry Lewis.
Jerry Lewis, the
Jerry
day
Lewis
the day the
Holocaust
laughter
clown movie.
died.
Yeah. Oh, you never heard about this, Robbie?
No.
Oh yeah, this is
Jerry Lewis. He made a movie about a clown in the
I think I've heard
Holocaust.
The Day the Laughter Died. I think I've heard
Yeah.
that before.
He made it. I think it was in the 70s or something.
I thought it was like late '60s, early '70s,
Yeah.
but like yeah, it was a long time ago.
He made
Oh
it. And
my
he was, by the
goodness.
way, this was the first time a movie had ever been made about the Holocaust. There had been no Holocaust movies yet, and he made the first one ever made was him in this clown movie, and it never saw light of day. And Jerry Lewis like made sure it got buried.
Yeah,
I think only the Library of Congress has a copy or something like that.
Oh my
So-
goodness.
he screened it for friends, I think, and they were so like repulsed.
And they were
by
like,
it.
no.
yeah, you can't really just like destroy your career.
yeah.
Wow.
And then it's been buried ever since. But yeah,
I'm looking through Ketchup Entertainment's Wikipedia page, and they have nothing but dog shit.
hey,
Like,
no,
so-
they did Goodrich. That's not true.
I've heard
Okay,
good
so-
things about Goodrich. I didn't
Goodrich
see
is
that, but
good.
I want
It's
to.
good. It's
yeah.
slow, but it's good.
So they had distributed about 20 movies from 2011 when they opened their doors until 2023. I recognize one of them, and it's The Starving Games, which
Oh,
is
man,
the
these are
Hunger
bad.
Games parody
Oh,
movie.
Oh no.
2023 is the
Horrible.
first one that I've seen in theaters, and that was Hypnotic with Ben
Bad.
Affleck, my lowest rated
Yeah.
movie of 2023. Then they did
Ferrari, not good.
Hellboy,
Was
the
that the
Crooked
Ben Affleck
Man.
one that was trying to be a Nolan movie? What was
Yes.
that one? Hypnotic?
Yes,
Yeah.
that was Hypnotic.
Yes,
And they did the Hellboy.
William
like-
Fichtner.
Yeah. Hellboy, the Crooked Man, dog shit.
yeah.
Oh man, these are all pretty bad.
Goodrich is good.
I'm rooting for ketchup.
I haven't
Me
seen
too.
Goodrich. I
I'm
am
rooting
too.
for Ketchup
I
too.
am too. This is a very
Bushwick was
funny
really
storyline.
bad. Bushwick was like you know how like dumb kind of Civil War was with like addressing all of like how this happened.
Oh.
Bushwick was that times 1,000. It was
Oh.
so bad, and I was like excited for that because that was right a little bit after Guardians had come out, and Guardians of the Galaxy. And I was like, oh, Dave Bautista can act. I want to watch this, and it was so bad. But yeah, these are all pretty fucking atrocious. But well, I'll be there. We'll be there watching.
I'll see that.
Topic for Robbie Fox. Zack Snyder's going to direct a UFC movie called Brawler. And I'll say this, as much as Robbie is not a Snyder fan, I do think that one of the cool things in boxing and in fighting in general, when you're watching it as a fan, is seeing the slow motion hits. That's part of the cool. That's the cool. When you see that slow
guess.
motion,
I
that shit rock.
guess.
and guess who
Yeah.
does slow mo more than anyone else on the goddamn planet?
Is that what we're like getting excited for? Like he's gonna film a good slow mo punch in this movie?
Hey, there's nothing better than a
listen,
slow mo punch. I'm not
I'm
sure.
stuck between a rock and a hard place here. Dana White's the producer. Dana White, I don't speak bad about very often. Zack Snyder, I do speak bad about very often. And like, I was the Zack Snyder defender when I started blogging at Barstool. People would say, oh my God, his movies are dog shit, the Martha scene. And I'd be like, they've got good things. They're not as bad as his fan base has worn me down to the level where I don't stick up for him anymore. I'm like, do what you must with Zack Snyder. This idea came from this like Saudi Arabian like guy who I don't even know he controls. He's a sheik who controls their sports and entertainment division. He told Zack Snyder he's got an idea for a movie. Zack Snyder said, "That's great, let's make it." And now this is the movie. And the synopsis is like hardened fighter from the streets of LA makes it in the UFC. It
I've never
sounds
seen
like
that before.
the most generic, yeah. So it's like I don't know. Here's my one like glimmer of hope. I don't think Zack Snyder's ever made a grounded movie in his entire life. I think every movie he's ever made has been over the top, insane, sci-fi, zombies, superheroes, whatever it may be. Maybe this could be a decent change of pace for him. I don't know.
Guardians of Cool was pretty grounded. Actually, it was kind of weird. They were all flying.
Yeah, that was great. That's his best movie. Yeah, my biggest concern is I think fighting movies more than any other sports movie, it's so dependent on script. Like you really have to have a great story, like more than any other sports movie. Like think about the great ones, and there's been a lot of great ones. Like a lot of the great directors in history they do a sports movie, they're doing a boxing movie.
Yep.
Does Snyder? That is just not his strength. Is like building grounded stories, building relatable characters, and
exactly right.
Yeah, I'm in no way like this is. I don't think a great pairing, like all around. I just don't think it's a good idea. Like the UFC show
the UFC
is good,
doesn't
right?
have that many. Well, it doesn't exist anymore, but the one that just got put on like Netflix for the first time, right? And that has a famous guy in the lead. Nick Jonas is actually in that show. People like that show.
Kingdom?
Yeah,
Kingdom.
Yeah, Kingdom was good.
But like the UFC doesn't have like a real movie, like a Rocky to represent. Like Warrior's the closest thing we've got where it's like that's an MMA movie. The fact that the UFC's going all in on this is kind of like, it scares me a little bit that other people will maybe be like, oh, instead of making a UFC movie, I don't want to be associated with that dog shit. I'm going to make a boxing movie. I want more UFC movies. I'm not sure this is the one I want.
That's fair. It's a fair take.
You ever seen Never Back Down? Classic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a classic. I think my sister really liked that movie.
But yeah, that's now we get to go to a topic. First of all, just want to note Heat 2 script submitted. Apparently to Michael Mann. Great.
Mm-hmm.
That apparently it's supposed to be
it's already a book too, right? People like the book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
It's supposed to be a prequel, and they're saying that it'll be Adam Driver who would be playing the young De Niro, I think, character.
Mm-hmm.
And then lastly, right before he started, they dropped the trailer for the Naked Gun reboot, which is directed by Akiva Schaffer of The Lonely Island, starring Liam Neeson as Frank Drebin Jr., the son of Leslie Nielsen's Frank Drebin, also starring Pamela Anderson, Paul Walter Hauser, Kevin Durant, who was just fucking crushed it in Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Denny
Kevin
Huston,
Durant?
Duranda.
Oh, I was like, I didn't see that movie, but what?
That would be awesome.
He gets this a lot.
Slim Reaper showed up.
You know who else is in this? Cody Rhodes is in.
He is. I know. I don't know what he's doing in this, but yeah.
Busta Rhymes and CCH Pounder, who was great in The Shield, and now all I think of whenever I see her name is when in It's Always Sunny when Dennis does an impression of CCH Pounder, and it's amazing. And then they make D like, D, you can't impersonate a black person. She does Obama, but like she just goes like, hey, I'm Obama from the streets, yo. And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? That doesn't sound like Obama at all. But yeah, that's Naked Gun. This trailer was interesting. Like the opening jokes or whatever, it closes on a great joke. The OJ Simpson, they're all
belly laugh out of me. Like
yeah,
true laugh out loud moment to end it for sure.
All the people are like, I gotta make you proud, Pop, and then just looking at the OJ Simpson's kid, and you just be like, that's good shit.
Really,
that's good shit
really
right
funny.
there.
Yeah.
The only thing that kind of threw me off watching this is like to me the Naked Gun is so like the look of Naked Gun is so specifically ingrained in my head as like that on film type of color, and seeing it in digital digital. We mentioned this. I feel like the last time we recorded, Gooch, like digital isn't as funny as film. I don't know how to explain it.
It's not.
I don't know how to explain it.
I was watching some McConaughey rom-coms last weekend, and I was shocked by it. I was like watching them. I'm like, why do these look so good? It's because the dog shit that we have gotten for the past 15 years has just trained my brain. And now I think Failure to Launch looks like a fucking cinematic masterpiece.
Like, did
like-
Deakins do this?
Yeah.
And actually, it does have an Oscar-winning cinematographer, so that does
okay.
kind of explain it. But it's like not crazy. It's just shot on film and it has nice sets. Like it's very basic stuff. But yeah, no.
But
I'm just excited we get a comedy in theaters. Like I've been seeing every movie in wide release this year. I've seen very few comedies, if any. There's no comedies in movie theaters anymore. It's very sad.
So
I'm excited.
does comedy well. Like his comedy in the few things he's been in, I think he's
so
really
good.
fucking fun.
Life's Too Short, man. He crushed it.
Life's Too Short. His
Ted
little
2.
appearance in Ted 2 is great.
Yeah.
I think he's really funny in A Million Ways to Die
Million
in
Ways
the
to Die
West,
in the
which isn't a
West.
great movie, but
did,
he's funny in it.
One of
And
them
this was
days
originally-
is like the only comedy that's come out this year.
Yeah.
That's crazy. One comedy all year?
It's nuts,
I
man.
think
It's all
this
TV.
was maybe I'm gonna go out on a limb. Talked about in like 2018 or 2019 on My Mom's Basement because originally Alex Sulkin and Seth MacFarlane were writing the script. I don't think they have the final like credit on the script, but it came from like an idea, I believe, or a concept from like the TED team.
McFarlane did.
McFarlane has a good
definitely
credit.
on
He's
the
a
script.
producer,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and produced it.
I'll tell you.
Yeah.
They got Dan Greger, Doug Mann, and Akiva Schaffer, which I don't know those other two, but Akiva Schaffer has done.
Kiva Shaver's great.
Very
But
funny.
he's one of the best comedy minds working. If you're not familiar, I mean, obviously Lonely Island, but he did the Pop Star movie.
Yep.
He did. I mean, he's done a majority, I think, of the episodes of I Think You Should Leave. A lot of work on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He's a very, very talented comedic writer and director.
Definitely.
You're probably, I would assume, the biggest Naked Gun fan besides me on the panel. I would guess.
Yeah, I mean, I saw 33 and 30 in theaters.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I loved the first one. The first one's great. Second two aren't that great. First one's
Not
very
as
good.
much, but the first one is.
And the old TV show was very funny, Police Squad.
Police
That's based
Squad,
on from
yeah.
the 80s. If you ever have a chance to catch those, there's only like 6 or 8 of them. Adam West is in it,
Oh.
Robbie. It's very good. It's very funny.
Yeah, watch that and then watch a compilation of Leslie Nielsen farting during interviews. I think that's the two.
Oh, that's
Chelsea
fun. Oh, I
River.
didn't watch that. Of course.
It's
Those
so
are
funny.
I like that.
so fucking funny. But yeah, that's a Naked Gun reboot. Okay, so now we're gonna do a draft before we do our review of A Working Man. And the draft we said we were going to do is we're building an action movie. So each one of us is going to have a chance to pick a star, a co-star, a villain, a director, and just one miscellaneous, whatever you want to do with it, category. I randomized the order before we went. It is going to be me, then it is Klemmer, then Gooch, then Robbie. So with the first pick, I'll tell you what, it was very hard to try and figure out how to approach this. I think I want to pick Tom Cruise. But where put Tom Cruise is my bigger question. Because I want to see him, Tom Cruise, as a villain. So I think I'm going to do that.
Ooh.
I'm going to take
There you
Tom
go.
Cruise. I'm going to make him the villain of my movie. And I think that we'll talk about it, I'm sure, at length later at some point. But Tom Cruise in Collateral is one of the better villains you'll ever see in an action movie. And I think he's so good and so natural in that state. And it pisses me off that the religious powers that be refuse to let him do movies where he's the bad guy anymore because he's so good at it. Even like Lestat in Interview with the Vampire. Like, he's good.
He's good. He's a great actor. Or he was a great actor. I don't know if he still is. I don't know what he is anymore.
He's like so natural at it.
Yeah.
He's so good, so like seductive in a way. Both those characters, like I think he's like really, really in his zone in those roles, and I would love to see him back as a villain again. So I'll start with Tom Cruise as a villain.
So Tom Cruise is off the table for all of us now?
Yeah,
Fuck. Okay.
and that means you're up.
That's the sigh of a man who just got off the construction site for 12 hours.
That's right. We're not getting Tom Cruise.
I know. True. I know. I probably made that same sigh when I lost a big sales deal back in my former life. Like,
that was real disappointment.
I'm gonna go with Chris McQuarrie as director.
Nice.
I mean,
nice.
like the Mission Impossible movies are fantastic. I know he's gonna. I know it's not the flashiest name in the world. It's not the most exciting, not the sexiest pick, but I know for a fact I'm getting a good action movie no matter what. So I'm confident with that. I'll have to think more about the rest of my depth here, but
Also, like Edge of Tomorrow. Like,
yeah,
he's got
so good. Yeah.
Reacher? Come on now.
Well,
Reacher's okay. As much as the book fans despise
I
Reacher,
kinda
they're
like the
solid.
first one. I like
I-
the first one quite a bit.
First one specifically, I enjoy. But that's again part of the thing is I never read Reacher and didn't realize he's supposed to be like a 7 foot tall jacked man and not Tom Cruise. So I get
I
it.
like the first one too. It's been so long since I saw it, but I think I like it.
They needed a 6'5" blonde hair, blue eyed Man, they went with
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise, brown-haired, green-eyed Tom Cruise.
5'7".
Yeah, it's a foot and a half shorter than it's supposed to be.
Yeah. So Klemmer gets Christopher McQuarrie. I think that's a great pick for an action director. I like that. So Gooch, you're up.
Yeah, kills me not getting Tom. I felt the same way, Klemmer. Far and away 1A in this situation.
Yeah.
I'm going to go director 2, though, because I feel like that is the more you got less options there. And I'm going to go James Cameron.
Oh, wow.
Jimmy C,
Okay.
baby. Give me Big Jim. I know he's been stuck doing Avatar stuff for the past
500 years.
forever.
And for forevermore.
Yeah.
Yes, but the man, if you want to make a big action movie, make $2 billion at the box office, give me Jimbo. And I'd love to just see him do. I love the Avatar movies. I love them to death, but I would really love to see him do something else. Before
You
his
love the
career's
Avatar
over.
movies?
I do.
Wow. I don't know if I've ever met anyone who loves them. They make a shitload of money. I just don't.
There's,
I don't know.
there is no theatrical experience that compares to it.
Wow. All right.
So James Cameron off the board. So you're going to go for more like a sci-fi feel, I'm assuming?
Sci-fi action.
Yeah. Which, again, Chris McQuarrie would also be good for this, too.
I mean, I tell you, both of us, especially Gooch, though. I mean, our movies are making money.
Yeah.
We have movies coming out. They're gonna make some money, especially Gooch.
Yeah. So Cameron is off the board. Robbie, you have back-to-back picks.
Listen, I'm going to admit, I don't know if my movie is going to make money. Now that I'm looking at my draft, it might be straight to Netflix or something like that, but I'm making an action movie. I'm not making an Oscar contender, okay? I'm making a straight-up popcorn blockbuster, and for my lead, I'm going to buy low because I know his last movie was a dog shit piece of garbage. I'm getting Aaron Taylor Johnson, okay?
Damn, I
wanted
wanted him.
Kraven the Hunter. But I just watched him in Nocturnal Animals put on this insane performance. And he's not a good guy. He's not the protagonist of that movie. But I was so blown away. I started thinking back. I loved his role in Bullet Train. I thought he was great in that. I know he's been in the talks for Bond. I want Aaron Taylor Johnson as an up-and-coming action star in my
So it'll be your star, not your co-star, right?
my star, yes.
Boy, Robbie's movie just opened 8th. I just checked.
Yeah, I'm looking at my thing and I'm like, oh yeah, I wasn't thinking of names like James Cameron. I wasn't thinking of like wasn't thinking of the best filmmakers when we were doing action movies. I was just thinking action.
ATJ off the board. Who's next?
Oh, me? Do I
Yeah,
go
you get
back to back? Is this
Oh, there you
me?
go, Rob, yeah.
Okay, okay. So how about I go with my co-star, okay? Someone I love in a co-star scenario who I would like to see in more than just Marvel movies. Because when they branched out from Marvel movies, they won a friggin' Oscar. I want Robert Downey Jr. as my co-star. And he's like Aaron Taylor Johnson's, I don't know if he's his dad, but he's his mentor. He's the one showing him the ropes of everything. Robert Downey Jr. would love to see him in more stuff.
Robert Downey Jr. He just won for supporting actor too, specifically.
Exactly.
This is co.
I like that, Robbie. That's now the bank rolls. You're up to 6.
Okay, yeah,
Right,
I'm getting there, yep.
This is going to be an expensive movie.
Yeah, this is a very expensive movie.
Yeah. 80 mil in the red already. Yep.
Yeah. So RDJ and our ATJ both off the board. Gooch, you're back up.
I'll go to star. And he's getting older, but I still think he has the chops, right in the Tom Cruise era. Matt Damon. And Matt Damon, you're going back to space, by the way. We're doing this sci-fi action thing with James
putting him
Cameron.
in an astronaut suit again.
They
we're putting
almost
him
teamed
back
up
in a
in
suit.
Avatar, but Matt Damon turned it down and lost out on $200 million because he would have got 10% of the movie's gross.
Oh, no.
To do
Well, kid,
Bourne Supremacy reshoots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I'll tell you, when I first put this list together, I had Tom Cruise 1A, and I went to James Cameron immediately in my head because 20 years ago, I think year 2000, I think exactly, Cameron and Cruise did talk about doing a movie in space together. Like they were in discussions. They wanted to, like Cameron, I think had something set up with the Russians where he could get like one of their spaceships.
Yeah.
So I was like, maybe we can finally get this made. But Matt Damon stepping in for Cruise, I'm more than happy.
Yeah.
One of our best, one of the great action stars of our lifetime.
Had you never heard about that, the Damon thing?
I didn't know that.
Dude, and the worst part about it, and I was tweeting about it yesterday because the Lord of the Rings cast had talked about how they didn't get paid shit.
Was this the Worthington roles?
What's
Yeah.
that?
Was it would have been the same?
Oh, okay.
It would have been such a better movie too.
So
Yeah.
the other big one is Sean Connery turned down Gandalf from Lord of the Rings, and he would have been offered 10% of the gross of that, and he would have gotten $400 million or 15%. Sorry, $400 million.
Why did he turn down?
He's like, I just didn't understand the script.
Oh, I don't
Yeah,
blame
that
him
was
for
us. He didn't get the books.
He's like, I just don't get it. And
3
then-
foot tall people walking in the woods for 3 hours.
Well,
I don't
what makes
blame
it-
him.
What makes it worse though is so Connery would have had to go to New Zealand and film these movies forever.
Yeah.
And that's one thing. But the principal photography on Avatar was 1 month.
That's it.
1 month of
That's
principal photography for the
crazy.
actors.
Explains the
It's
performance.
all blue screen and same sets, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just all they'd have this the mocap. So
Yeah.
1 month of principal photography for Matt Damon, and it would have made $200 million
No, that's would have made more than that because he also would have been
in the second one too, and would have I
And-
assume got the same
True.
sort of.
Oh my god,
Dude, brutal for him. So Cameron and
that's
Damon
tough.
off the board with Gooch. Klemmer, you're back up.
I'm gonna take co-star, not star, co-star. Brad Pitt.
Ooh,
Oh,
that's smart.
Huh?
That's smart.
Brad Pitt. Might have heard of him. Pretty big movie star.
I heard of him.
co-star, too.
Handsome man.
Seen him in a thing or two.
Good for a co-star too, because he gets to like flex. I feel like more chops when he does.
So yeah,
I mean, Cliff Booth, perfect example.
exactly right.
Yeah, that's damn straight. So Chris McQuarrie and Brad Pitt, I don't think they've ever worked together.
I don't
right?
think so either. Right?
McQuarrie.
I'm building bridges.
So McQuarrie wrote Usual Suspects, right?
Yes.
What else? Did he write other '90s things that I'm missing?
He directed a movie. Was it? Did he write Year of the Gun? Something that's terrible. It's not
Yeah.
good. That was his first movie. He just kind of working on his chops.
So Brad Pitt off the board with McQuarrie, that would be an interesting pairing. And I kind of think that's going to be similar to how Brad Pitt plays in this F1 movie, because that's Kaczynski, who
Yeah.
obviously did that Maverick with Tom Cruise as well. So a lot of
But
connections.
he just
there.
did Bullet Train, so he
Same.
can still do the stunts. He's in great shape.
Same cinematographer. F1 is failure to launch.
Really?
Really?
Oh, shit.
That's
This cinematographer's having
He's
a
like-
great day on the pod.
Yeah, he's
guy works a
Kaczynski's
lot.
guy. It's Claudio. Can't remember his last name. Marino. Claudio Marino.
All right. So I have back to back. I think for my main, I'm gonna do Alexander Skarsgård, because I think
Okay.
Alexander Skarsgård and Tom Cruise would be a very interesting protagonist antagonist duo, because I think they both have like a very fascinating like look to them. You know what I mean? Specifically, like Skarsgård, he has such a weird.
He's gonna tower over Cruise.
Oh yeah, but that's part of the fun here is being
Yeah.
being dominated by a short villain like that. That's I think a very
Hell
interesting
yeah.
power dynamic. So I really like Alexander Skarsgård. Like he's been good in action movies like Northman
Tarzan.
and Tarzan, whatever. Northman though, he is fucking intimidating to look at, and I think he could pull that off. Specifically for the type of movie I have in mind, which I'll kind of reveal as we get towards the end of it. I think he'd be a great good fit for that. So Alexander Skarsgård off the board, and I think I'll do my director. I think I'm stuck between two guys. I think I'll do Michael Mann.
Oh wow.
I'll get Michael Mann. Michael Mann still got plenty of juice left in the tank. For the type of movie I'm working on here, I think that he'd be a really, really good director. He obviously, his filmography speaks for itself, with the exception of someone's like Ferrari, which we talked about before. But he's got a lot of action movie experience. He kind of blazed trails for a lot of the things that a lot of people did after him. So really enjoy him. So Michael Mann. Klemmer, you're back up.
I'm gonna pick someone that I think has had. He's a very well-known person. I think we said underrated career. I feel like we haven't got the most. This could be the movie that really, maybe launches him to a different stratosphere, and it's Ryan Gosling. Now, obviously, I know Barbie. I know, I get it, but like that still was more Margot Robbie's movie, and I feel like we've seen him in like Drive. Like we've seen him; he can be that kind of like star, but he also can be like light and funny too. I think he can do a lot of things. I think working with Brad Pitt in a McQuarrie film, now we're like, I think might see like a more actiony side of it. Now I know Fall Guy, I know, but let's put that behind us. Let's look forward, not backwards.
I kind of like. I disagree
I
with
like
the
that
next
movie.
level thing,
Did
but
you
at the
not
same
like that,
time,
Klemmer?
It's not that I meant like box office wise.
Oh, got you.
Like I'm worried about like no, I liked it too.
Yeah.
Gosling
say
and
Klemmer.
McQuarrie are match made in heaven.
The footage that has gotten people the most excited from CinemaCon was released last night, and it was Gosling's Project Hail Mary that he's doing with Lord and Miller.
He's
People are
an
saying-
astronaut, right?
Yeah, the book is
Very excited
incredible.
for that. Book is written by the same guy that did The Martian.
Oh, I'm excited for this.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, no.
Let's go.
People said it looks like it's going to be huge. Like,
Oh, that's
looks
great.
great.
Good for him.
Very funny.
He should be a bigger star. I know he's a big star,
Well,
but I mean he should be like a bigger
maybe
star.
about to be in a Star Wars movie too.
Also true.
Oh really?
Sean Levy's Star Wars movie. He's the
Yeah,
lead apparently.
that's-
Oh.
I feel like
That's
that'll
not
fall
seeing the
apart
light of
eventually.
day.
We'll
Yeah,
see.
that's not
Well,
seeing
yeah,
the light
we'll
of
see
day.
about that.
Hopefully
We
not
will
gonna
see.
until Catch Up Entertainment comes in and buys it.
That's right. That's right.
Hopefully he has time to do my movie. He's very busy apparently.
Yeah.
So Klemmer has McQuarrie, Brad Pitt, and Ryan Gosling. Brad Pitt and Ryan Gosling starring next to each other. That's an immediate. Your box office is like.
I think so.
I'm gonna have to call audibles on my draft.
Yeah, Gooch, you're up.
I'm going to take the first woman in this draft because I'm not a misogynist, I'm not
Ooh,
misogynic.
sucks to be you.
I'm gonna go co-star. I'm gonna take Rebecca Ferguson,
Mm.
who I think is a very physical actress. She's kind of a new age, Uma Thurman, Charlize Theron, a taller, slender, more physical actress. And I think she's very talented and hasn't had like the big cinematic role. She's obviously been a side player in some notable things, obviously Mission Impossible. But the chance to co-lead a movie like this, knock it out of the park. And I'm working on this space situation right now too. You gotta keep in mind, I have my American astronaut. Now I have my foreign astronaut in the spacesuit.
Mhm.
Also, could be some sexual tension going on. That's
there
always
obviously
nice.
will be.
Yeah.
Although
So,
Matt Damon being sexual, yeah,
No?
I don't remember that. Gotta axe that.
Bad guy. Yeah.
He's not a sexual guy.
come on, you didn't like that 2-minute sex scene in the Adjustment Bureau?
You got Minnie Driver. Minnie Driver ended up dating him for a while after
That's
Good
true.
Will Hunting. So
But
you
Matt Damon in 1999, very different than Matt
97
Damon.
even. Yeah, I know. That's
Yeah.
true.
So Ferguson off the board, and you also have James Cameron and Matt Damon. Robbie Fox back-to-back picks.
All right. I mean, I'm taking Nolan off the board. If
it's a
nobody's
great
taking
pick.
Nolan,
Great
I'll do
pick.
Nolan. I'll do Nolan. And my villain, I'm going to take someone that has been in a Christopher Nolan movie before, someone that's been in a Robbie Fox draft on Lights, Camera, Barstool. He was part of my most underrated draft. I'm taking David Dasmalchian.
Yeah,
Who I've praised him in a lot of things. Character actor who just had his first lead role. I think he would be awesome as a lead villain. I think he'd be a great like Bond villain, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
He was so good in Late Night with the Devil.
He's great. Yeah.
So good. That's a really underrated movie. I know Robbie used to speak highly of it. Like I really loved it. I watched it on your recommendation. I loved it.
Not like physically imposing, but he'd be very intimidating.
He's very cerebral
scary.
too. Yeah.
Like it's
I mean,
Alan
even
Rickman.
when you don't. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, just like Alan
That's
Rickman.
a good example.
I mean, that's like kind of.
I think it is a good
archetype he's going
example.
for.
Yeah.
You're talking about
like-
Alan Rickman. Oh wait, I thought you meant
who are
Alan
you thinking
Richmond. Richmond from Reacher.
No, Alan Richardson.
No, and I thought you were
Alan
talking about
Richardson,
Adam Richmond from Man vs. Food.
Yeah.
Oh.
All three. The three. You could not get three more different like physiologies. I think if you tried.
No.
But
That's Melton rocks though. I think he should be like a bigger actor than he is right now.
I agree. You say right now you have Aaron Taylor Johnson, RDJ, Chris Nolan, and Des Malchin, which I think that's a great crew. It's a really good crew you got going.
I already called 2 audibles from my initial draft because it was straight up a Netflix movie I was drafting here.
Gooch, you're back up.
Next one, I'm going to take an actor who won back-to-back Academy Awards and has fallen off the face of the fucking planet since then. But I think he's still very talented. And that is, well, now why am I blanking on his name? Holy shit. Christoph Waltz. Yeah, Christoph Waltz. I want a guy who can play the German villain. And like Robbie, I want somebody who's cerebral, maybe not physically imposing. I like that in action movies, by the way. I don't know how you guys feel. I like the final boss, the heady guy, and there to be one big goon that he has to beat before he gets to that guy. Yes.
I mean,
so
the big
Christoph
one was
Waltz,
literally Bautista, I think, in Quantum of Solace, wasn't it? It was like James Bond had to beat the shit out of Bautista.
Spectre.
Whichever one his one was. He had to beat up Bautista
Spectre
on the train, which was a great fight, by the way, in a bad movie.
Mm-hmm.
Beat the shit out of Bautista before fighting him.
Yeah, it's incredible what's happened to his career. Like, it's kind of nuts. It's not like the guy can't act still. It's just like, where are these roles for this man? And it feels
he did
like
that
an
Matt
easy
Shackman
person.
series, which is pretty good. On
what?
He did a series that Matt Shackman directed, like a corporate leader attorney. I watched the first.
Oh yeah, I watched the first couple episodes of that. That was good. What was that?
I completely forgot the name of it.
Must have not been that great.
I
do remember he was good though. He was the villain in that too.
Yeah,
he's a villainous. He's got a villainous demeanor to him.
It's Germans, man. So right now you have James Cameron, Matt Damon, Rebecca Ferguson, and Christoph Waltz. This feels like a movie that could actually happen already. Klemmer, you're back up.
Same thing at Gooch, same mentality. Like, one of my favorite bad guys ever is Philip Seymour Hoffman in Mission Impossible.
Oh yeah,
3, right? Like, he's so good. Like, you're taking a great actor, and then he's not the most physically. I mean, he's a bigger guy, but he's not like muscular. But he was terrifying because he's such a great actor.
Terrifying.
Same mentality. I'm going with my villain, Cillian Murphy.
Ooh, nice.
I think he's same kind of thing. I want that cerebral bad guy. I don't want that imposing bad guy.
So you got McQuarrie, Brad Pitt, Ryan Gosling, and Cillian Murphy. Woof. This is a good team. This is a pretty fucking good team. Gosling and Murphy would be. I'm like picturing like they're back and forth. That'd be fascinating.
Maybe Murphy kills Pitt, right? Yeah. But then Gosling saves the day.
So now I have my last two picks. I'm kind of caught for what I want to do with my co-star. I think I want to do an actor who I think is very good and I think would be perfect for the type of movie I'm building. And I'm going to do Boyd Holbrook. I really like Boyd Holbrook quite a bit. I think he's a good actor and I think he's got a very good look to him as well. And this, to give you a little bit of an idea of the movie I'm making, mine is 100% like a detective cop movie. So it is a detective movie where Skarsgård and Boyd Holbrook are partners, which I think them two next to each other, like those tall ass elegant faces, like that's gonna be nice. And then Michael Mann directing it, who obviously is great at this type of shit, be great. And then Tom Cruise is the villain, awesome. So I think I just realized I did Michael Mann and Tom Cruise. I didn't mean to do that, but I just made Collateral again. But just but Boyd Holbrook as my co-star to Alexander Skarsgård, both of them detectives, I think could be there's something there. So I got Boyd Holbrook as my co-star, and then my little miscellaneous is going to be that Alexander Skarsgård is a divorced detective. There's no two ways around it. He just has to be divorced. That makes him a better detective. That's just how movies work.
True.
You cannot be a good detective unless you are divorced. So my lead detective is a divorced man, and I think it's not amicable. It is not a good divorce. They are angry.
Yeah.
All he wants to do is get back into his house, and she hates his guts because he was married to the job, like that type of divorce. So divorced detective Alexander Skarsgård for me. So you are up, Klemmer.
Yeah, so my miscellaneous is my plot, and I'm kind of taking two things here, so I apologize. I'm taking something. I want, because I got McQuarrie directing this, right?
Yes.
I want a heist on a plane.
Wow.
Oh,
So like we're talking deep.
I got the movie for you. I got the
money plane. The money plane.
Like I want a crazy stunt, DB Cooper shit where they're jumping at, I got Ryan Gosling, I got Brad Pitt jumping out of a plane, but the mafia is involved obviously. So then you got Cillian Murphy, the Irish mob is after him, and it's I said, and obviously Brad Pitt dies at the end, but Ryan Gosling saves the day.
Ryan Gosling saves the day.
Bringing the Irish mob back.
Bring the Irish mob back.
The fucking Conor O'Malley. There's a movie called Money Plane, which we watched. It was Kelsey Grammer. Kelsey Grammer was the bad guy.
WWE, right?
Yeah, and it was
Yes.
Edge from WWE was the star, and it was Kelsey Grammer played the bad guy. His name was was it Cornelius Grouch or some shit?
Darius Emmanuel Grouch III.
Cornelius Grouch.
No, Darius Emmanuel Grouch III.
Yeah, Darius Emmanuel Grouch III, who ran the Money Plane,
Mr. Grouch,
which is a plane where I think they do all these gambling on the plane, right, and bets on fights and shit.
Dude, you want to bet on a dude fucking an alligator? Money Plane.
That's that's a line from the movie that Kelsey Grammer said. But yeah, you gotta check out Money Plane.
Oh, this is Money Plane too.
Yeah,
Back in the air.
Money Plane for Klemmer. Gooch, you're up.
So this is my miscellaneous.
Yes.
The villain has to be representative of a real country. That is my miscellaneous.
Nice, love that, love that, love that.
Oh.
We have to stop doing that nation, the enemies, the
PMC.
I love Top Gun Maverick, but that is probably my biggest gripe with the movie. That is it's just Iraq. Just say it. I know it's probably uncouth to do, but it completely changes the dynamics of the movie when you are taken out by that other country. Just say it. The 80s action, 90s action were so much better when we were fighting with the fucking Russians all the time.
It's we're fighting against a private military company called Apex or whatever. That shit sucks. I'm so sick of that.
I gotta say, even the way they did it in Captain America: Brave New World, I had to roll my eyes at, where they're like, let's make enemies out of Paris. France is attacking us because they don't want to say who the enemies could be. They're just let's assign it to a country we're allies with, so nobody gets mad.
It's not only that; it's also the worldwide box office. So that's why they won't say China anymore.
Yep.
It's not China box office.
Now China saves the day in movies.
China's great. China's a hero now.
Yeah. Go watch The Martian. They'll save the day. Go watch any sort of movie. China will come out, show up, and help you. But I love that. That's a great ad.
Yes,
Gooch. Robbie Fox, your last pick.
So my movie I'm kind of putting together, it feels like it's a Bond-esque movie I'm doing, where it's espionage spy stuff, and every good villain needs a right-hand man. So my miscellaneous is that it's kind of another casting. It's that David Malchin's right-hand man is Jesse Plemons.
Wow.
Oh, Fat Damon, let's go.
He's the kind of guy you add to a movie for 5 minutes. Civil War's the perfect example.
He's great.
He's what you're going to remember. He'll make any movie better like that. So Jesse Plemons, he's just adding a little salt to the meal. It's this is going to make it better.
So our full list is Robbie Fox. You have Aaron Taylor Johnson as your star, Robert Downey Jr. as your co-star, Christopher Nolan directing, David Dallas Malchin as your villain, and Jesse Plemons as his goon. I guess.
Yeah.
I like that. I think that movie's making a lot of money in the box office.
My original director was Anton Fuqua. He
I
had
thought about him
scheduling
too.
difficulties, and Nolan filled in.
Nolan filled in.
Having Nolan gives you like instant box office credit.
Yeah, I think you win. I think you win off Nolan alone.
Yeah.
Once
Well, that's
Nolan
why I had
showed
to
up.
call an audible, and I was like, "Sorry, Anton, I love you. I love the Equalizer, but Nolan's still on the board."
You also didn't have Denzel, which he like.
Well, I
he
know,
thought-
and I was
Denzel-
I was thinking of doing a Fuqua movie where Denzel played the villain. That was my original thought, and then I was
Ah.
like,
He was great. in
"That could be
Gladiator,
cool,
too.
though."
He was a good.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's not, you're not
He's the
missing
best
much
part.
movie wise, but
Don't
he's the
like
best part
Gladiator.
for sure. Gooch, you have James Cameron directing, Matt Damon, Rebecca Ferguson, Christoph Waltz, and your miscellaneous is that it is a real country that we are fighting in this movie.
That's
There's
right.
no fake countries, no private military companies, none of that, no mercenaries, none of that bullshit.
Make
which
it
I
Canada.
Yeah, that's the South Park movie that's coming up soon. Klemmer, you have Chris McQuarrie directing, Brad Pitt, Ryan Gosling, Cillian Murphy, and it's a heist on a plane. I mean, yeah, that'll make money. I mean, I'm trying to like put together in my brain how they do this, and it's like, oh, this is now Brad Pitt's thing. He does heists on motor vehicles,
Yeah.
but or on vehicle transportation, which is kind of what Liam Neeson did for a minute.
That's right.
'Cause he
Oh,
did
yeah,
the
the
Marshall movie,
Commuter.
Commuter, yeah. But yeah, I think that also is making a movie, and I got Tom Cruise as my villain, Skarsgård as my star, Michael Mann directing, Boyd Holbrook as my co-star, and it is a divorced detective, which I think we're talking about some real gritty.
That's a dark movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This is like, imagine like Miami Vice, but more like a little bit lighter than Miami Vice.
All right.
But we're going. It's gonna be dark, and there's gonna be them busting up. They're gonna have the body armor on. It's gonna look sick. They're gonna have like the police issue shit. It's gonna look. I can picture it all in my head right now.
There it is. They're
Shout
gonna
out to
have
the
it on.
body armor. Yeah. So yeah, that's our draft. Shout out. Thank you, Robbie Fox, for joining us. And now we will have him hop off, and we will talk about A Working Man, starring what kind of kicked us off, which is our good boy Jason Statham. So let's talk about A Working Man. This is a movie that I think that we're all kind of like in different stages of excited for, because there's an appeal for movies like this from us, from general audiences. Dumb action movies will never really go out of style. And this is clearly just Jason Statham's lane. It is about Levin Cade, who left his profession behind to work. What a name, I know. This movie was originally called, because it's based on a book, right? Levin's Trade, I believe, was the original name of the book.
Something like that. Yeah, Chuck Dixon, who used to write for Batman and Robin.
And that was supposed to be the name of the movie for a long time. I
Yeah.
remember they pitched us something for it, and it was still called that.
Oh, really?
A few
Okay.
months ago, it felt like. He left his profession behind to work in construction and to be a good dad to his daughter. But when a local girl vanishes, he is asked to return to his skills that made him a mythic figure in a shadowy world of counterterrorism. Stars Jason Statham, Michael Pena, David Harbour, a bunch of, I would say, David Ayer's alums, Jason Fleming as well. This is a movie where like you watch the trailer for it, and yeah, it checks out, right? It's Jason Statham playing an ex-soldier dragged out of retirement for one last job / vengeance, and that's just the plot of every movie he does, including last year's movie with Ayers, which was The Beekeeper, which is basically the same bullshit. It's an ex-special forces guy being dragged out of retirement to get vengeance. Yeah, same shit. However, I don't think that's a bad thing, because I personally appreciate it when actors can find their lane and they wherever they're comfortable with, and they stick to it, and they just keep making those good things instead of trying to be maybe something that they're not particularly great at. Or like, I appreciate people who are passionate or whatever, but like Jason Statham is just good at being a professional ass kicker. And I like that. I like that in this movie. I would say mostly enjoyed specifically the third act of this movie. It's a bit long in the tooth. There's some vibe issues, but I enjoyed A Working Man.
I mean, it's dumb, but like you knew that going in when you bought your ticket. I wish it was goofier and funnier and like sillier. It tries to thread that line of like, are we a serious action movie or are we just stupid as fuck? I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, these are all just like ripoffs of Taken. Like really, like you know, and Statham's doing like the best like Liam Neeson impressions. You know, middle-aged to older guys beating the shit out of people. I have this ranked 17th of the 35 movies I've seen this year, so it's middle of the road. It's fine. I think the most interesting thing about Working Man to me is not even the movie itself, but what it did in the box office last weekend, which is it beat Snow White in its second weekend release. Like, there is an audience for these movies. There is a thirsty audience for a good action movie, a fun action movie that dads, brothers, friends can go see, can get some laughs, watch some, guys get the shit kicked out of them. But, like, it does waste David Harbour. It does waste Michael Pena. It does waste Jason Fleming. Like, it wastes these actors. And at the end of the day, like, it was mildly entertaining. We saw it together. It was mildly entertaining for us. But like a month from now, I'm going to forget it. But the movie never, I don't think ever wants to be more than that anyway.
Yeah, no, it's no surprises at all.
No,
I don't think it's pretty much in line. I would say I liked Beekeeper a bit more last year, but it's not like a massive drop off at all. Good stuff. I agree with you. Didn't get to utilize. They brought David Harbour in, a pretty interesting character, and kind of don't use him at all. Like at all.
And it's all. I don't want to give him away, but it's all in one location. It makes me think he was probably available for like one day of shooting. Yeah, because he never leaves that area that he's in.
Yeah, it's a little strange because I was like, this is a cool character, and then they go to him once or they go to him twice. For about 5 minutes each, if that. I will say a big highlight. I think this is excellent goon cinema, and not keep your mind out of the gutter.
Great your mind out of the gutter and into the gunner, because that's the goon we're talking about.
A lot of great like just side character goons in this movie. I like don't remember any of their names, but they all had like their different. It was very John Wick-esque, I think, is what they're kind of trying to draw on there with all the different factions and different kinds of people he had to fight. But it got repetitive at a point, and the third act kind of gets to the good Lord, what are we doing? Especially with the. Can we talk about the moon? The moon and
what the fuck was that? Yeah, we looked at each other. Why is the moon like 800 times its regular size?
Yeah,
that's the biggest moon I've ever seen. I've watched A Wonderful Life 50 times. It's bigger than that. It's huge. But a good time. Like I went on Monday in between recording dozen matches, was in and out, and I think like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
It's a good time. 160 minutes, which is honestly probably 25 minutes too long.
Yes,
I think this movie could easily be trimmed up. Like this, like he easily could have fought 2 goons, and the movie would have lost nothing.
Yeah, but yeah, no, good time. I don't think you really need to rush to the theater if you haven't seen it yet. It'll probably be streaming, I guess, in 2 weeks, 3. It'll be streaming fast, but a good time. Like,
what do you guys take from it beating Snow White in the second week? Like the Snow White thing is such an epic disaster for Disney, and Disney's flailing.
Yeah,
I agree. But it is stunning. It's a stunning development for a movie that was really supposed to dominate the box office last week and the week before. And then we have Minecraft this week, which is now in theory going to take over. But the Snow White debacle, I think, is going to be studied in like film.
It's
classes
PR fucking
like the biggest PR nightmare,
PR disaster that they made. They only made worse at every turn. And it's just it's bad. And the fact that it's like a kids movie, like all these Disney live actions, even if they're not great, even if it's like the Lion King live action 1 or 2, like they still usually they make money. You know what I mean?
Yes,
so like for this to come out, be a kids movie, be like an ancient, revered Disney property, and for it to just like that's insane.
It might not make $100 million.
I think that's
which is like hard to domestic, which is crazy.
I think the issue is that it's ancient. I brought this up. We talked about this 2 weeks ago. Is that they're out of Renaissance movies to go back to, which the Renaissance movies are the movies that people who are becoming parents and have young children right now, that's what they grew up watching. They're out of those. Now they have to go either back to the classical Disneys, which, as we're seeing, probably not going to move the needle too much for anybody, or they have to go to the 2000s, which I think Stitch does well. I don't know what else.
Does really well. That's gotten a lot of like box office buzz.
Yep.
That's gotten a lot of people excited. Like, so I go to all these movies, I see all these trailers, and I will say like the Lilo and Stitch thing, I think is going to make a lot of money. I think honestly, for Disney's sake, it's fucking better because when you figure in Captain America, which tanked, you figure in Snow White, which is double tanked. I mean, that makes Captain America look like fucking Avatar. Like now, and then Thunderbolts, I don't think is going to do well, honestly. And I'm excited. I'm actually kind of excited to see it. That's not a personal bias at all. I'm kind of intrigued by the movie. I don't think it's going to make a lot of money.
Yeah,
I could be wrong, but like I just feel like now Fantastic Four could do really well.
Yeah,
and I think Lilo and Stitch will do really well. But like I think Disney right now, I think that's why we saw that director's chair thing last week. I think they're flailing.
Yeah, I would agree.
Good news for them. They do have Avatar at the end of this year.
that too.
Which we know will make a shit ton of
$1
money.
billion. It'll
We
make $1
know
billion.
it.
Yeah.
No question. Like
Especially-
No question.
it might even just make $1 billion like abroad.
I mean, the second one made $2 billion off the back of a movie, which I think people were not split on, but definitely
I
not
would say if you ask people on the internet,
overtly excited.
if you ask people like on the internet, there would have been like the same thing that you were talking about, kind of Klemmer. They're like, no one likes Avatar like that, and then it goes and makes $2 billion.
Yes.
like right after a 10-year gap
People-
between the movies.
And people really like the second one. I think
Yeah.
overwhelming more than the first one. So yeah, this one will do buku numbers.
Not to get too far off of A Working Man though, just to give it some praise and kind of go pick apart what we don't like about it. I'd say like the action was great. David Ayer has kind of like really narrowed in on what he's good at, I would say, in that sort of sense, like hand-to-hand combat, cool gunfights, things like that. He's also good at casting. Like you mentioned the goons. I think all the goons are great. All the side character bad guys, like the biker gang boss, which he kills at the end, it gives him the respect, even though he's like a child trafficker
Very strange.
and meth dealer.
That was very funny.
Yeah,
That was very funny.
very weird.
him. I think the two initial kidnappers, like that girl was. It did something
with the head tattoo,
with the
the
face
forehead
tattoo.
Oh, really?
It did something. It did something for me. She was like sadistic, and I kind of liked it. The biker guy's like main goon. The like I don't know how to.
Oh,
he looked like Ari
kind of like
Shaffir.
the meth guy.
Yeah, he kinda
looked
looked
like he was on meth.
I thought he looked like Ari Shafir a little bit.
Yeah.
But-
He was good.
I liked him. Like all the goons were good, and I enjoyed that quite a bit. And easy to hate villain, Russian sex traffickers. Like the only thing worse is pedophile Nazis. Like you can't get much worse than Russian sex traffickers. But the thing that I think weren't good is I mentioned this to you right after we left. Like half this cast was told we're doing Smoking Aces. The other half were told we're doing John Wick.
Yeah.
So then you get this mix of like over the top characters, and then other ones who are trying to take this like, oh, we're doing like a kind of serious thing, and then they're having in the middle of I forget they were in Atlanta. It was
Chicago.
In the middle of Chicago, having these like weird old South like in the swamp sex orgy party.
Very
like,
weird.
Bizarro.
Yes.
In
In a house that was like ramshackle, but yet all these rich people were there. There's no rich person that would ever walk in that house.
no.
Very strange. I gotta say, I mean, honestly, if you're like, hey, Friday night, what am I gonna go see? I want to see an action movie. I go see Novocaine.
I'd seen Novocaine before.
Novocaine is way better than this. Better goons, I think. I think the bad guys are better.
Yeah.
I think it's much funnier. I like the lead better. Statham's great, but like I think everything about Novocaine is so much more entertaining and better than this.
This is very paint by numbers.
And it's not. I'm not trying to shit on this movie. It's fine. It does what it does. But like I felt like Novocaine like kind of like overshot what I thought it was going to be, and I really enjoyed it.
The Russian guy that dressed up in like the Liberace outfit every time we saw him was kind of fun seeing killed near the end. Like the guy who I guess organized Demi.
Oh yeah, yes,
Jimmy.
yeah, that guy,
Oh,
yes.
I thought you were talking about the guy who dressed like JP from Grandma's Boy. Do you know what
No,
that guy was incredible with the leather
that guy
jacket.
liked to great
Just-
goon.
He would just come in and just start shooting the place up every single time.
The giant machine gun with the weird hair.
Yes.
Yeah. And then his side by side goon, who was just a big, like, giant ball, typical Russian mobster, very funny. And honestly, all of them. Again, all the side character
They
little
were fine.
mini bosses I pretty much enjoyed
A lot of them.
as he worked his way up the chain to get
Yeah.
towards the main dude. But yeah, enjoyed it. Yeah, I would agree with Klemmer. If you're going to watch an action movie, it wouldn't be the one I'd run to the theater to see. There's other probably better ones.
Go
but-
see. If people haven't seen it yet, Black Bag. If it's still in theaters, I know it's going to be on streaming soon.
Hit VOD. Hit VOD today.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think that's going to be. But it's that is
Rent
a
it,
fantastic
honestly.
movie. Yes, easily rent it.
Like-
And it's a great date night. It's a great date. Like watch it at home for sure. A few interesting movies coming out this weekend. I'm intrigued by. I guess Minecraft. Is,
I thought.
Oh boy,
Minecraft.
I've heard nothing but the worst things in the world about this. movie. I
I'm
can't
seeing that on
Dude.
Saturday. I think
They're doing a Superman preview though. They're doing an extended
Yes.
preview of Superman before. I might.
Are they?
I might. Yeah,
All right.
I might just go and watch the preview of Superman.
and bounce.
I'm
Yeah.
seeing
Didn't
Woman in the
Phantom Menace
Yard.
do that?
Phantom Menace did
Didn't
what?
they do an extended preview with a dog shit movie before it came out?
I don't know that, but I know one of the Mission Impossibles did for Dark Knight Rises, which was awesome.
Oh, that's a best case scenario.
I'm seeing A Woman in the Yard.
Oh yeah, that looks kind of interesting.
You know what's comes out this week in only about 1,000 screens, but Hell of a Summer, Finn
Yeah.
Wolfhard.
Mhm.
That looks interesting. It's gotten
Yeah,
like
it
mixed
does.
reviews, but it's a short little horror movie. I'm down for that. And finally, I think seeing Snow White. I haven't yet to see Snow White. I think I'm finally going to see it.
Not missing a ton.
Have you seen it?
Yes. No, I'm
Oh, really?
I'm not-
It's just fine. It's the most fine movie I've ever seen. Where like
it's
you see like there were people like, by the way, the ultimate when you go on whatever Instagram, Twitter, and you see like the political accounts post like it's got an IMDb rating lower than any movie before. That's like the ultimate like Inglorious Bastards putting up the 3 thing to me, where it's like anytime you quote a review bombable source as like a legitimate source of like critique, like you're a moron. You're
like you got to go to the flip side of the IMDb. Like the top rated things, Ken Jack, like the 10 highest rated things on IMDb are all animes. Like it's just like weirdos who get on there and review bomb, which anime fans will do.
Yeah, and then you go and you look at the some inverse of it, and it'll be like Barbershop 3 has a 99 out of 100 on fucking IMDb or whatever. So it's dude, don't quote that shit. But so it's just fine. It's not gonna blow your socks off. It's also
that's what everything. So from the critics that I respect and read, everyone says it's like it's good enough where it's not bad, but it's like not good at all.
And that's also the same,
which is kind of a detriment to the movie. I wish it was like horribly bad.
But that's also the same critique you can give to basically every single live action Disney movie so far. Like the same thing with Lion King, Aladdin, Little Mermaid. It's like it's fine. It's nothing special. And that sucks. And there's just like, what's the point of doing this other than to make money? And this one has this whole shit attached to it. Which
maybe this will end this trend.
I would hope so. And honestly, if they were to just do a new animated Snow White, I think that would have done significantly better. I think it would have done like you just redo an animated Snow White, bring your kids to the theater for that. I think that would do better than this did, in my opinion, anyway.
Snow White's second movie I saw in the theaters, and I'm not that old. Where it was a re-release.
Yeah,
Stop. E.T. was the first movie I saw, and the second one I saw was Snow White.
So we got The Woman in the Yard next week. We got
Woman in the Yard's already out. I'm not getting it till to this week.
Well, we'll probably review it next week.
Okay. Well, I'm seeing it Monday, so you're welcome to go with me Monday.
Are you in Chicago?
Klemmer, go see Ephes, Klemmer. It's not
I know.
It doesn't.
I don't have time. They keep putting out 5 fucking movies. I barely have time. I have every night I'm seeing a movie. Like it's crazy right now.
But that's it.
I want to see it because it's good, right?
And it's baseball. It's like the best baseball movie.
I'm excited. I wish I'm seeing this movie called The Friend on Friday with Naomi Watts gets a dog. Tonight I'm seeing The Chosen Part 2. Oh. Yes, I'm seeing The Chosen Part 2, which is a series that's on Amazon Prime about Jesus. And I had to watch. I've seen 2 Last Supper movies. This is believe me. I would love to see this.
And just to behind the curtain of this, I invited Klemmer to go to a screening of Ephes. And we were just like, I think I heard you said exactly. You were just like, I don't know.
This
is a while. This is a while back.
I mean, this is I just.
But yeah. Anyway, go see Ephes among many other movies that are out, and we will see you guys next week.
See ya.